you guys, it's Cece. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be introducing to you guys a new series I'm starting with my account. I started my own raid journey about 150 days ago, which is the same time roughly I started this channel. And I have taken you along the journey with me in videos, and I've kind of laid them out to give you a day 60, day 90, day 120 update. And essentially I give you a quick overview of my account and where I'm at. So I had an idea where rather than giving you guys a big chunk like this is where I'm at and that's it, instead I would take you through the journey with me. So for now, I have given you a 120-day update as the last one, but I want to show you guys how I'm getting to 150, how I'm getting to 200, 250, and taking you more in depth into my account. If you are a new player looking to start Raid Shadow Legends, then be sure that you're using my link. You can either scan the QR code on the screen, click the link down in the description box. By using this exclusive link, you're going to start your account off with Elenaril on day 1, so right away you're going to get a legendary champion. At level 10, I'll send you Uugo, that epic champion. Level 20, you'll get Rector Drath, and at level 30, you'll get Mausoleum Mage. These 4 amazing champions are going to help you out with your raid journey. Now that you've downloaded using my link, you want to make sure that you are entering a new player code. You do have to enter this within 72 hours of actually downloading the game. The code that I suggest using is Monkey King. This is going to get you Sun Wukong, who is a legendary champion who is very good, but only here for a limited time. So you're going to want to make sure that you claim that. If you did start your account around the same time as me using my link, I would love to know how your progress is going. Comment that down below. What I want to do and my goal throughout this series is really to document my journey step by step, dungeon by dungeon, and boss by boss. So if you are looking for expert advice, this is probably not what you're going to find in this video, but instead we're going to learn together. So any tips that I come along the way, I will share those with you guys. Any advice I need, you guys will be able to comment and let me know how my progress is going, or if you're struggling, maybe I can try to help you out. So I will share with you guys my triumphs, my mistakes, my challenges, and everything that goes into kind of perfecting and just improving your account throughout each step of this journey. So whether you are a free-to-play, a low spender, or a whale, then hopefully you can relate in this journey of trying to actually figure things out in the game. The way that I'm planning to break this down is each video will focus on one area of the game. So for example, when we go into the dungeons, I'm going to do this all separately. So we will start with something like Spider's Den, Dragon's Lair, Ice Golem, Fire Knight, and I will take you through where I'm at and where I'm trying to get to. So I will have a goal for each video. Hopefully it is a goal that we will reach. If not, then it is something that we may have to revisit, but I'll show you guys kind of my thought process, which champions I'm using, how I currently have them geared up, and what my thought process is actually going into each of these dungeons. So hopefully I can share those tips with you guys and help you guys improve your accounts if you are also struggling, or if you're in the same boat as me and you're just trying to figure things out. I also want to try to make teams just using the champions that I have. So sometimes you will come across a dungeon, and of course there's going to be meta units and meta teams, and this is what you want to build for the fastest. But instead, let's try to figure out what are strategies that we need for this dungeon, what champions do I have that will actually work with it, or how can we actually make them work? Of course, the first thing I need to show you guys before we hop into the series is where we are currently at. So I'm going to show you guys my dungeons first. Currently for Dragon's Lair, I am at 21, but I do think that we can improve this and get further down. Of course, the goal is always going to be stage 25. But we will set realistic goals and see how they actually go. Now, anytime I do one of these videos, if it is something that maybe we fail at or maybe something that we need to improve at, then I will show you guys that. I want to be very transparent on how the progress actually goes throughout this. For Ice Golem, I am currently also at stage 21. And for Spider's Den, I am at stage 17. My ultimate goal for spiders, and I think the one that we will currently focus on, is trying to get to stage 20. That is going to be the ideal place really to farm until we can make big improvements on the account. Next, we will look into the Fire Knight's Castle. This has been one of my struggles for a large majority of the game until I got some champions that really helped me out here. So I am currently at stage 20, but the time for it is a very slow one, and obviously I want to improve all of these dungeon times, so that is going to be another goal. So you can see for all of them, I'm around the similar stages. I'm in that kind of 20s range, but I do think that's something that we can greatly improve. Now, Minnow is something I can do stage 15 on, and of course, Minnow is a little different because that is where we're trying to get masteries for champions. I do have a strategy for this, and I think I will just make an entirely separate video on that. So I will continue to make videos that do have different tips, tricks, guides, things like that, along with this series. I am curious though, which dungeon do you guys find to be the hardest? This can be currently or when you first started. What is the one that you actually struggled with the most? Next, let's talk about Doom Tower. So Doom Tower has reset. The highest I had gotten to previously was floor 100. And I do think I can actually get higher up. I think that is going to be another goal. And I also didn't tackle too many of the secret rooms. And I struggled a little bit with it. And I think that's something else I want to show you guys and take you along with, and showing you kind of how to make my way through the secret rooms. Any areas that I can improve along. I think part of the goal of this is going to be to share my journey with you so that I can also get advice from you guys. There are so many amazing players in this community, and you guys have been so helpful in just giving advice on random videos, whether it's a shard pull I do or I tell you about certain champions. You have been absolutely amazing in trying to share advice for that. So that is going to be another goal of mine, is to improve, of course, using your guys' help and your guys' advice. Next, let's move into Cursed City. I will be totally honest, this is a place that I was not always using my keys, especially early on. So this is another goal of mine, is to actually use all my keys, use all 8 I have every day, or if I get to a point that I'm stuck at, see how I can actually make my way through that, see how I can improve, especially when it comes to these stages where you are tackling some of the bigger bosses or some of the stages that are a little bit harder, and it's not just throwing a team in and clicking go, but it's actually requiring me to come up with different team comps and to use some of my different champions. Something I do always emphasize is joining a clan and using your keys. So that is the next thing, is actually really building out my clan boss teams. So for Demon Lord, I can do Nightmare, but the goal is Ultra Nightmare. So I want to show you guys how I get to that point. What team am I using? How are their artifacts? Can I speed tune them? And all of that. And then we have Hydra and Chimera. So Hydra is something I also use my keys on. But again, I'm kind of thinking of team comps. I'm throwing in champs and using those keys. I would really like to nail down teams and champions that I'm really able to get the most out of the champions that I have, and able to get a higher score so that I do get better rewards. Chimera being probably the newest one, and one that, again, I'm able to do, but I think I can do it more efficiently. And I think documenting that will be helpful for other players who are newer to the game, or you're just getting into it, or maybe you're just starting. I don't want to leave out areas of the game like faction wars, so I think for this one, I will tackle this more on a weekly basis or so, and letting you guys know just how my week went with it, how my keys went with it, because faction wars is a little different. I am not going to go ahead and find all my dark elves and build whoever is a dark elf in here just so that I'm able to progress in it. These are the champions that are going to be built along the way as I'm doing other things in the game. So I will put in whoever I have in here, and this is the strat that I always recommend to players, is at least use your keys, put whoever you have in there, and see how high up they can go. So what I'm currently doing in here is just trying to get 3 stars on the keys that I have if I know I can't progress. So what I've been doing is progressing as far down as I can, and then once I'm at that point I can't really progress anymore, then I'll go back up, try to get my 3 keys on it if I can, or I will just repeat the last stage that I'm able to do so that I'm at least able to use these keys, since they're gonna refill, and that's how we are gonna get these types of materials like the glyphs and the artifacts that we can use to, well, the material we can use to actually craft artifacts in the forge. I will also show you guys my champions and my current roster. So as we're going through these dungeons and the different things in the game, obviously I will be using different champions and there may be some overlap, but I will show you guys how I currently have them with their artifacts, and maybe what changes I can make, because I'm going to get to a point in this game where things like speed tuning are going to matter. I will be completely honest, right now that is not something that I have done. I have not done any type of speed tuning. I'm just using the artifacts that I actually have, but I know how important it is going to be to actually really narrow this down, so I am able to be successful in things like dungeons, but also in things like PvP. I've been keeping things with Arena fairly simple and essentially just trying to use my tokens when I have them. That does include Tag Team Arena. So in here, honestly, my simple strat is clicking on something, looking at my team power versus theirs in the teams, clicking start, and at least using that token. So that is something else I want to do, is actually try to challenge some of the harder ones and maybe actually build my teams out, because I, for now, have just thrown some champions in and I'm like, yeah, that should be good. They should be able to tackle this without really thinking of their team comp and really trying to progress any further with it. Then, of course, on the other side of that is going to be regular arena. With my regular arena, this is something else that I would love to improve on. With my current tier, I am sitting at gold, but that is that early gold, and I would love to be able to be more consistent with it and really be able to use more of my tokens. I currently will go down this list. I'll see which ones are easy. Maybe it's a comp that I can try to fight against. I'll go ahead, challenge it, and see how it goes. Versus looking at the champions I'm using, maybe seeing who I can swap out, who will actually be able to counter it better, just so I can use my arena tokens even more efficiently than I have currently been. I would love to take you along that PvP journey as well, so it's not only talking about dungeons, but actually showing you my progress as a player in learning the champions and being able to do better in areas like arena. This, of course, includes live arena. I would love to be able to actually do more live arena. You guys can see I have not gotten very many wins on it. I haven't put in as much as I can in here either, and that's simply because I'm still learning the champions. But I have recently pulled some really good champions, and you guys have advised me this is something I can use in live arena. These are some of the strategic methods I can implement, so I think this is something else that I want to actually try my hand in, and I want to bring you guys along with me for that and showing you how my live arena goes, what my thought process is behind picking certain champions, or you guys just telling me simply, Cece, instead use this or do this, because that is always super helpful for new players and seeing areas that they can improve, whether that's learning on their own or learning together. I would love for you guys to follow me along this journey, so be sure that you subscribe so you're able to see my account progression going through each dungeon, stage by stage, day by day. And don't forget that as a new player, you can use my link either clicking it down in the description box or scanning the QR code on the screen to download Raid, and that is going to get you 4 champions. Once you reach level 30, you will have all 4 of them, starting off with that legendary on day 1. Comment down below and let me know, what dungeon do you think I should start with? I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Next level.